So recently I bought this pack of pretty cheap paints on Amazon. I say cheap, I mean like inexpensive. It was still like, 30 something bucks for this Nick Pro model paints. Um, I just kind of wanted to do a bit more painting, at least more model painting. A lot of the model painting that I've actually done over, the last few years, or at least whenever I have done model painting, please focus on my actual thing. Um, it's been okay. Let's see, why aren't you focusing? A lot of the model painting that I have done over the last few years has been with oil paints. I prefer oil paints primarily over, um, the acrylic or the model paints or anything like that. I was trained to do model or to do oil painting in school, and so it's just kind of what I'm used to and what I enjoy. Um, but the problem with oil painting is it's very committal. And recently, I haven't had a lot of energy, maybe just from work or life in general, prepping for D&D, and having the task of sitting down and painting a bunch of miniatures, um, and them being in oil, which I had to kind of set up and do all that stuff, has felt like a lot to me. And I have been really feeling and wanting the need to go on this channel. And I know that I usually do a lot of like scripted stuff and I write it out. I have a bunch of scripts that I've been wanting to make videos on and I just haven't been able to. Maybe because they're a little bit too committal for me. And that hasn't really been a problem in the past, but like recently it's been something that has really kind of been weighing on me. And part of me maybe needing to break away from it is to do something a little bit smaller. So that's what I want to do. I picked out a few of my little models here. I actually have a stand for this. I don't know why I'm just holding this block, but that's what I'm going to be doing for today. And I want to just paint. I want to paint. And so I got these cheap paints, right? They're acrylic, they dry fast. I maybe don't need to think about it so much. And I'm just going to go on this and I'm going to do it in like, 20 or so minutes. This is a tiny little model. I'm not going to try too crazy hard to blend it. I don't remember where I got this model from. I think it's like a Reaper miniature. I don't know what the character's name is or anything like that. And my camera just sucks at focusing on this thing. Um, but I will try my best to go ahead and paint this in a way that you guys can actually see. Maybe it's like right here. And I just want to go for it. And I'm not really gonna edit this all that much. I'm just gonna yap. The last time I tried to do this, I tried to do this maybe like a week and a half ago, and then my PC gave up on me, or my the boot drive to my PC gave up. I thought about buying a whole new PC, almost ordered one, and then I ended up just getting a new drive. And I did have to like reset and reinstall Windows because I wasn't actually able to reset my old boot drive, which was kind of a pain. But it's something that happens, and it just kind of sucks because of how expensive computer parts are nowadays. And so it was a little, upsetting in the moment. But I got it fixed up. I got like a cheap SSD. Just to set up as my boot drive. I still had all my other drives. All my other data was totally fine. I don't put any actual important data on my boot drive. Um, but I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna go in with like a light layer, and I think for this character, I'm gonna go with this really really simple color scheme. It's just gonna be red, black, and white. Um, Nothing too crazy. Again, I'm not trying to get myself, you know, like as stressed, I guess, over this miniature. I want to just have fun with it. Because honestly, life is hard and I don't need it. I also honestly think that her hair, I'm debating whether or not her hair will be red or not. I think I'm gonna go for it just because I can. And this red that is in this pack, it's very, very bright. It is, or light is the better word, not bright. Bright would kind of signify it being very saturated. But this red that is in here, I don't know the name of the red. I just picked it up. I think it's literally just called deep red. Doesn't feel very deep to me. This feels very, very, um, well, shallow. I guess is the way to say it. It's not deep. It's not dark. It's actually quite bright. but that is okay. I'm just going in with this big ol' flat brush. I don't even know. I don't think it says a size on here. It's like a one. So just um, what 1 centimeter? I think that's what that is, right? I don't remember how brushes work, despite me being in the arts for so long. I just kind of go by the numbers, and I know which numbers I like, but I don't know what the numbers mean. Maybe that's a problem. But I've been really wanting to just like draw, doodle. I'm gonna call these like doodle sessions, even if I'm just making a model here, right? Uh, you know, some people want to consider that doodling, but to me, it's doodling because this is kind of a non-committal little art thing that I'm doing. And that is kind of what doodling means to me. Um, so I'm gonna go in onto her like chest piece here with the same red here. Um, Again, I don't really have a plan going into this because, again, I'm trying to keep it simple. And I know there's other details on this chest piece here, but I'm kind of just doing what I would call art-wise as like blocking out. Um, I know some people maybe block out using like spray paints or something, but for me, this is just easier. And I don't know much about actual nail painting. I'm just going with it. The chest piece, I think being red is fine, but as I'm going to start getting to these other pieces, I'm going to start kind of differentiating. Once I get to her skin as well, I will do that. But honestly, some of that like popping out of the red is quite nice. Again, I just think it's a little bit too bright, but I can maybe deepen it a little bit once we get some other colors in here. But honestly, that's not bad. It's not terrible. Obviously, she is, um, she has no skin tone yet. So I will go in now. Maybe start adding in some of those tones. Um, I think the boots and stuff. I'm gonna try to leave a lot of the actual black on this because I said it was gonna be red, white, and black. So I'm gonna get some of that white color. Let me go find the white somewhere. I should probably have had the box of paints open. So I'm gonna get the white here, put it on my little palette, and I just wanna go for it. But yeah, I've been feeling like I needed to make kind of like simpler, less committal things, just to get myself back in the groove of actually making things. Because I like to make things. It's one of my favorite things. Is just creating. Um, but sometimes life kind of gets in the way of that, and your energy's low, things of that nature. Um, Everything just kind of gets in the way, and that sucks. But it is kind of what it is, and so I'm just trying to make the best out of my kind of situation here. Um, I've been trying to get rid of all these old miniatures that I have, or like not rid, but start actually painting a lot of them. Um, I want to work through a lot of my old miniatures. I have been going to be making a video about it soon, but I'm making a bunch of homemade notebooks for my players, hopefully. Um, and I'm recycling a bunch of old paper. And if you've never made paper, maybe it will be a good, I guess, reference point. I'm not the best paper maker in the world, but I've gotten closer and closer to what I personally want out of like homemade paper, each time that I've worked, and I think it's getting pretty cool where it is currently. Um, I guess I probably could have done this with silver. Actually, I'm gonna do it with the silver. There's like little buckles and stuff that I will do with the silver. So I'm already seeing that pieces are drying. Um, Oops, I might have just hit the mic there. I'm so sorry. But getting over her shoulder piece here. Ah, painting miniatures for me is always like a chore. And again, I enjoy it. It's like one of those things where it's like a lot of effort for something that I do enjoy, but it's again just at the end of the day, it's a lot of effort, and so getting these cheap paints, I think, is a good idea. And I'm just kind of lining, I don't even know what you would call these pieces. I keep hitting the microphone. I'm so sorry. Got that. And then I guess the backpack doesn't necessarily have to be black either. I think for her corset here, I will go in back in with like black straps, but that is for later. Um, let's go and let's line this piece here. And I'm just going at it like that. If I mess up anywhere, it's pretty easy to clean up. And if anything, I don't know. Happy little accidents, right? Never really been a Bob Ross guy, but I never grew up with him, to be clear, pretty much. There's some things that I didn't grow up with, and so I kind of just know them through other people knowing them or the internet. I know a lot of like the artsy kids at my schools would have known Bob Ross, and he just never really crossed whatever I was doing. But it's pretty fun. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get like a skin tone. I think there is some kind of skin tone in the pack. Obviously I can make my own skin tone, and it's always the basic skin tone is some kind of whiter flesh. For her, I'm gonna do that more this lighter kind of color, just because I think it pops out against the black a bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. The one thing that I always struggle with these things is faces, because I feel like the details get lost on a print when you don't paint well. Like right now, her eyes are caved in from the water. I think once it dries, right, we'll be able to see it a bit better. But gotta get some of that paint all down and around this portion up here. It's a little bit difficult, but we'll get it. Get it. There we go. And if I get a little bit of red on the, or like the skin color on the corset or whatever, all I really have to do is go back and fix it up with, more red. So it's okay if I mess up. Right. Honestly, this is looking from like a distance pretty good, and that's really what you want for something like a miniature. You're not looking for the fine details. I mean, you can be, right? But imagine this is on a table, right? This, stands out pretty well to me. Black and red is pretty strong. I mean, black and most other colors is a pretty strong and like outstanding kind of image. So I've got this metallic gunmetal that I might throw in for her, like shoulder pads, some of these straps, things like that. Let's see how good it is. I haven't opened this one up and used it yet. I'm curious. Looks pretty dark, so I'll see if it improves anything here. Let's try on the shoulder pads. I think whenever they do metallic kind of stuff, from my experience, it's more of just like glittery kind of thin paints. But let's see if I'm wrong. But already, I think that metallic is actually popping out a lot more. I think I kind of want to make her boots those metallic, right? Because that looks like it's popping out. So I'm going to go back in. Some of that metallic color there. I might make the white lines on her boots themselves kind of the metallic gunmetal. But honestly, I think that metallic gunmetal is actually really nice on a few of these features. I don't know if I'd do it for the gloves. I'll do it for the gloves, actually. I changed my mind almost immediately. I want to do that for the gloves. I don't know how well it's showing up in camera. My camera's not very good at these finer details, or I'm just a bad cinematographer, or both. Those can be true at the same time. but I think this, I don't know if it's showing up very well. Put it up. The metal is just, it's nice. It's very, very pleasing. Um, I think that's kind of sick, actually. Um, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna add some more of that those white streaks to my her gloves here. Let's see if I can get it in there. Right, there we go. Right. And I'm just outlining her gloves. And I think, honestly, I might make the handle to this sword back here. Um, it's either the handle. I think. I make the handle red. Right, and not the actual, um, not the sheath that's being held in. I think I make the handle this color, and I make the sheath that kind of dark gunmetal, because I think that could just be really cool, right? And between the legs here, because that's where the sword is. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to get a little bit of just nothing, get some water, and I'm going to try my best to kind of move around that face, because some of that paint is still pulling up in places I don't want it to. Hope this is capturing on the camera well. Honestly, a little bit of the red is mixing into the skin tone here, and I think it's making it just a little bit better just because this skin tone isn't fantastic. Okay. Obviously, I just need to wait for it to dry and kind of move it around a bit more because there's just a little bit too much liquid stuck inside of that area there. Maybe I can use a dry brush, like a brush that's not being used currently, and go back in there. Maybe because it's completely dry, it will help me move around the paint a bit more. Yeah, that's better. Because even if I was wiping down my other brush, it's already damp and it's kind of soaking it up a bit too much. Okay, that's actually working out quite well. Probably put some shadows where the eyes are instead of just like actually painting the eyes, because I think that's a little bit too difficult. And there we go. We go in, paint it. I'm already seeing that having a little bit of a drier brush is helping actually to lay down that layer a little bit nicer, which I guess should be obvious. Let me go in. The gunmetal is just really cool. I am very happy with the gunmetal here. Now we just need to find the actual regular black color here, because I want to go in and I want to add in like black little things to her, what is it called? Her corset. Okay, so it's black. I'm going to collect a little bit of it on this fine tip brush here, and I am going to go line. I think adding that is really cool. I think I'm going to add a little bit of black to this bottom section here. Miniature painting is kind of cool. I should really do it more often. I just haven't found the motivation or time, I guess, to go ahead and do it, which I guess is really just unfortunate. But life does you like that sometimes. I changed my mind about this handle. I'm gonna make it black, and then the gunmetal looks good there. Let me see what else I can do. I think maybe I just commit and just do like white stripes on things. I don't want to break the color scheme that I've got going on too much. Trying to keep to a nice, not strict, but semi-strict three colors. I know I'm using the gunmetal, but I feel like the gunmetal doesn't really count because it's not really that different from the black. It's just a shiny black. Is how I would describe that. Um, but let's throw in a little bit of a line on her glove in the back, right? Okay, we're keeping a lot of her outfit this kind of it's pretty straightforward, so I'm okay with keeping it that way. I think that's pretty cool. I think that is enjoyable. I think all I really want from this now is to hopefully get a little bit more color towards in these reds. It says deep red, but it's still dried up a little bit lighter than I would have liked. It did dry up lighter or darker than it definitely laid down. When it lays down, that is light. I tell you, that is light. So I'm gonna apply a little bit more of that red. Some's missing on her chest piece here, so I will go in and I will add that in. And go. I guess the strings I could add in. I don't even know what color to really do the strings. I guess just white. Doesn't really feel like the right choice, but I guess it's just white. Get that closer to the camera again so you guys can see. It's pretty cool. Ah! Okay. I'm actually just I'm gonna up the red a little bit, red content on this actual guitar first before I do anything. There we go. And the bass that she's on, I think I might leave it as the black. I feel like it's kind of cool. That could just be being lazy, but I don't know. Something about it is coming together in a way that I very much enjoy. I'm trying to get more of this paint off my actual brush here. Sorry about that. It was just coming out a lot more red out of the drips than I would have liked. And there we go. Just the paint is kind of pulling in those like face pockets a bit too much for my personal taste here. So I'm gonna see if I can again move that. There we go. And I'm gonna again take a hopefully drier brush here, completely untouched by any of the paints. Go in and just suck up some of that paint that's stuck in between the eyes here. There we go. And honestly, once it dries up a little bit more, I'm gonna go in onto that face, and I'm gonna add in. Oh, I kind of want to get. I know I have like metallic silver in here somewhere. So metallic silver. I'm gonna add like little buttons and stuff to maybe the belt at the back, things like that. Metallic little buttons. So let me spread out a tiny bit of the metallic metal. Metallic silver, what do you want to call it? I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna add dot. I'm gonna add in some dots. It's not focusing. Why aren't you focusing? Add a dot there. Dot there. It's a little too dark. I might combine it with a little bit of the white. There we go. It's pretty cool. A dot on the bracers. Right. There we go. I think it's quite fun. I think to keep the theme up of whatever I'm actually painting here, not. Honestly, that might have been a mistake, but it's okay. Okay. That happens, I guess. Okay. I put a little bit black where the eyes are, and I put a little bit too much, so I'm going to go back in with very watered down skin tone and try to lighten that back up. Okay, now sure. Top half of her face is gray. Maybe I'm doing too much. Let's see. Or maybe I'm cooking. Because that kind of looks pretty cool. Let me see if it focuses. Yeah, I think that's actually pretty sick. Alright, I'm going to go in with a little bit of that white. And I'm going to paint the guitar strings. Unfortunately, whatever this model is when we have strings, it just has a texture on a guitar-shaped blob. So I'm just going to paint that section white. Kind of like that, roughly. Like so. Not, not perfect. It's okay. I'm not looking for perfect. Add a little bit of that red. Go back in and fix up this section. There we go. Okay. I think I'm actually quite happy with this. I'm gonna add in little black like streaks. Maybe I like that she has this, partly because I'm lazy, but she has this like black underneath her hair here. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna add in maybe black of her roots, right? So I'm gonna go in and I had to angle it away from the camera just because this is gonna be difficult to do otherwise. So I'm gonna blacken her roots because if she's someone who dyes her hair, in my next campaign, there's not gonna be a lot of time to constantly be getting that done, right? So your undyed roots is kind of a real problem. So there we go. Look at that. I think that is very, very fun, actually. I don't really know what to do for the space beneath her feet. Maybe it can just be some gravel, things like that. I don't really want to throw brown into the mix here. I think this kind of stands on its own already. So I might just leave it. I'm going to take a little bit more of that skin tone though. Bring a tiny bit of red just to get some warmth back into that skin tone. So I can give her kind of, I guess, pinker cheeks towards here. Okay. Alright, maybe I'll wait until it's completely dry to do a few more finishing touches, but otherwise I think that this was a fairly productive little drawing, or like doodle session. This was a very non-committal little piece. Looking at the timer now, that was about 29 minutes, right? For something to do just on my little weekday away from work. I quite liked this. This was very much relaxing, and I enjoyed it. And I'm gonna do a little bit more of these things. Maybe draw my sketchbook, or just draw when I get the chance. I still do illustrations for people. A little bit less now, as a combination of my, I have like I don't know, like there's like a, I forgot what it was, like a median nerve thing going on right now that I'm dealing with physical therapy. But this was fun. I think that using a lot of the black from the actual spray paint helped out a lot, and kind of keeping the colorways pretty simple is really nice. What I've actually been doing to kind of help me pick out colors for my factions and stuff has actually been this little book my girlfriend has of these like color combinations. And this one, I swear I saw one that was like gray, black, and kind of like a red here. Obviously, it's not the exact same, right? Different reds and stuff like that. But I'm getting the vague ballpark is essentially what I'm looking looking for with this little book, and it's been helping me when I paint minis or anything like that. But that was a very enjoyable little doodle session. Hope you guys maybe just enjoyed putting this in the background or something while you're doing your own work, laundry, whatever. Um, while with this, there's a few things I might fix with this later, but that's not really the purpose of what I'm here to do today. It's to actually just put something down, and I might fix the face like later once a little bit more of that dries. Um, but I don't know. I enjoyed it. You guys have a great day.